I hear a voice. It's a woman's voice. Sounds familiar to me. I don't hear shit. The voice is... Margaret.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I don't sense that distinctive floating feeling that I usually have when I enter the TV world. When I concentrate, I realize that I must be sitting in a chair. The moment I open my eyes, I see vibrant blue. The Velvet Room. I visited this place an untold number of times last year, and once more in my dreams yesterday. I never thought I would return to this place.
Huh? It's not a dream this time? What's going on? Didn't my contract end already?
Igor, who usually sits front and center, is nowhere to be seen. The one to greet me is the woman with silver hair, Margaret. Could this be a personal summoning then? This happened a few times last year too. Margaret smiles as if she sees my suspicion.
This room is tied to your fate. Nothing that occurs here is meaningless. Though you reached an end to one journey, you now find yourself here again. This shows that you will once again be faced with a question.
A question? And something really is going on?
Another mystery has appeared, and we are about to be dragged into it again. Could that be what she means?
From here on, what befalls you will upset your status quo.
That's what I don't want to hear in my real life.
It is true that you've opened the door once already, but all things change. Nothing ever remains the same. What you gained before will change over time as well. You will have to face them once again.
Face them? Again?
The first thing that Margaret's words stir up in my mind is the sight of my friends' smiling faces. Is that going to change? No, that can't be true. And face them again, that's impossible. Once I wake up and leave this room, I should still be with them. There's no need to jump to conclusions. But Margaret appears to have anticipated my thoughts and smiles while narrowing her eyes.
Show me how you will proceed down the path that awaits beyond the door you've opened.
My vision wavers and the blue light before me vanishes quickly. Wait, I still need to know what you mean by those words. Ooh. Gravity. Sure. Ooh, scene 2. Noise. Much progress. Is that...
Where am I?
Is that fucking Beethoven? With the yellow eyes? That Bach? Oh my god. Fucking... Google Images. Where am I? What? Where did I get thrown to where I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasogami High. I attended this school with my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
This is... No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
No, it's the Beethoven world. The graffiti on the ground. Clues placed like they're from some kind of ritual. Oh yeah, I just realized the shoes. That is creepy. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasogami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. What happened to turn the world inside the TV to this? On top of that, we entered the TV from the usual entrance, but I ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I started to feel chills down my spine and look away.
Hello! Sorry for the wait! Greetings, boys and girls of Yasogami! The P1 Grand Prix is about to begin! There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out! Tell us how you really feel!
What the...
Is that you, Rise? I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rise Kujikawa, one of our friends of the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? All I ask myself is, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways of the entrance to everywhere I turn.
Huh?
May I have your attention, please? commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can even think of an answer, Rise makes another announcement. As if on cue, the monitors in the music room turn on. What appeared on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rise and now Teddy? What are they doing?
You're all here now. Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Again. That's the same bizarre announcement that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Rise and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time. Less talk and more fighting. With the next challenger, come on down!
Oh. About to get some action? Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond the white curtain? Eventually my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looks a lot like some kind of fighting tournament. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
Great. They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
Starting that up already? I won't let you get all buddy-buddy with each other. These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy. We're not gonna play along with that.
I look over at Yosuke hoping that he would agree with me. He doesn't seem interested in what I have to say.
Oh, really? I guess he should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I expected to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner, and said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. But what if it's true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes even be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Where is she?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Nanako did come into this world once last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching even now. So why? No, even then it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then was Nanako brought here by Teddy if he's the leader of this tournament?
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako is with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things, but mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and acts over it. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about? I should be the one saying that to you. She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now. You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so up until now. was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about when the murders first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who was dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you let me win by default.
To be honest, I've been thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him, and the Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But this wrongness that I kept sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangeness I feel is because these words really are coming out of his mouth of someone I never thought would say them. If so, then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
Scene 3, alright. Let's do it. I like how my height and weight is unknown. Alright, this is the first gameplay. Oh, the graphics look good. Oh shit. Okay.
They can both be nice and hit.
Okay. I'm pressing buttons for it. I have no idea what's going on. AA? So why I can summon my persona? Oh my god. Damn, I grabbed him.
How unfortunate. Better luck next time.
Oh, I win? Oh shit, nice. Easy clap. Alright, I need to definitely play the training after this.
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
I didn't know that they integrated personas into the fighting. That's pretty cool. Alright. Well, in the next episode, I'll do some training and understand what the hell I'm doing.
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this? Teddy, about Nanako.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me! And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
Oh, the monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako. But he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be there. The moment the monitors turned off, the students began to leave like the waves if the recording tide, in the receding tide. No, they wouldn't look like students anymore. There's something inhumane just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. They looked like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat, they're going away. There's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Yosuke, are you alright?
I walk towards where Yosuke lies, collapsed on the ground, and give him a hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already. It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about.
What's this about nurses?
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time. How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face? Is it such a crime to like nurses?
Wait a second.
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. Okay, I see. So we fight like almost mirrors of ourselves, in which it portrays, it's like a provocation. The other person we're facing acts in a provocating manner to incite the fight, and then whoever wins, the true personality comes back. I tell Yosuke to calm down, and we go over what he thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of each other have been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I've been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated over what I supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for both of us if we pretend this never happened. But thanks to our convo after the battle, I've come to realize something. We've been hearing each other say things neither of us have been meaning to say, then...
Yosuke, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke is at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't possibly have said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words even if he didn't know he was saying them. Many Yosuke's. That reminds me, Teddy was on the screen, had said the same thing I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy has done this all up?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if he wanted to kidnap her, it's certainly possible he could have. Wanted to go home at once and check to make sure she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find him on my own.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
Be careful, I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yes, I know that now that I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy has said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it out and let me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I could just be jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say there was a rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, might as well see what he meant by that. I stopped walking and turned back to Yosuke.
Oh, one last thing. About those nurses.
Ah, quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from fighting. Or finishing, and... Oh, he's trapped. Because he didn't win. There's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
Huh. So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
Looks like there's some force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of those battles happens here, the winner will kind of get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
I see how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it?
Yes.
Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
As Yosuke says on the ground, or turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, I give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. Okay. Leave the Beethoven room. At that moment I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well. What? How am I back here?
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I had been leaving the music room now, but I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expression and speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired.
Shit, she's talking to me. Yeah, I've been reading a lot.
The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that the answer, she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of this Velvet Room never reveal anything. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
This shine she speaks of, could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance. Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds. You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way?
That may be true.
You may be more conscious of that fact than most because you hold the power of the wild card.
Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me.
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds. How will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
Persona 4, all my friends are fake version. Well, this is cool. Why are there like wall cameras and ceiling cameras? When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school hallway. I turn around and see the door to the music room closed behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
The changes, huh?
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little do they have to say always has meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret had said some strange things while I've known her. She never said anything meaningless while I'm on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her words at heart. Okay. Oh. It's an old game. You can only go one direction with your D-pad. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Oh, through this bizarre place that looks nothing like the Yasogami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teddy has appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. I'd hear Risei's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Risei are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course, things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that one of the walls won't let anyone through, no matter if they won or lost the fight. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
Stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building as I mutter to myself while I look around. Where are they trying to lead me? At that moment,
Hey, you there! You're one of them participants in that there Grand Prix thing, right?
a voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me through my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
Don't tell me this girl. This girl's obviously lab risk because we saw her unfortunately in the title screen. But Mitsuda, why did you program her to have a fucking Aussie accent? I turn around and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was wearing a uniform too. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of her intensity. I'm bold. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. This girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh? You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval. All right, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasogami High uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. person is here, then they're either a persona user or a...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait. Did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. Might have put it a little differently, but she can't enter a TV herself. The only possibility is that someone threw her in. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV. What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was a persona user, I don't see why she'd hide the fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then does that mean she's a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduce myself.
I'm Yu Narukami.
It's
I was
me.
a second year at Yasogami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Yeah, I like to cosplay as a student.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
The student council president. If I'm remembering correctly, the student council election should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won any of those elections since I left before before they took place. It reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president, no reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you wanna be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy. A friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends that were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin, Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did.
That makes you an accomplice. Die, fool.
Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. Still one difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that this is all within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world no matter what.
I ought to tell you to go
Take a
home,
look.
but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see Miss President keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem out of breath. It's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. She's a robot though, but I guess we're not supposed to know that just yet. God damn, but that's a cool arrangement, god damn. We burst into the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the floor, on the gym, forming a huge towers that reach almost the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitors on the gym flickers to life. And as I expected, Teddy appears again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei?
I feel like this is just Danganronpa, but like 4Kids version, where it's 100% less deadly, but it's just Danganronpa.
Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Whoa, you look so mortified. That's the face I was hoping to see.
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows that I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't even leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words cause me to doubt myself. And Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council?
Yeah, what's the idea?
Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks as fast as clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect the school. Her strong awareness of her duty is suppressing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at her. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei. A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner. Sit, puppy. Sit.
He has absolutely no intention of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Leave it to me.
I'll take it from here. It's all right. There's nothing to worry about.
Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want that anger to be in vain, so I turn to face Teddy on the monitor.
That was pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
Huh. What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? You know
Whoops. The way he said that makes it sound as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in the answer.
Come on, Sensei. Your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you. With the next challenger, come on down!
Who is it, Kanji? After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time it is Yukiko that appears.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you all right? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. Seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd been that tense though. Now that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Nanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is.
You're naive, you. She's about to be a demon.
I need you to protect this girl from me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion towards Miss President standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
Now, based Yukiko. I'm not going to help her because I don't know her. Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would she really think that way? It's got to be the same with Yosuke. The same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak.
Yukiko, not you too.
Oh no.
Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. It doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there have been with Yosuke. But something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. Real her would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I don't understand the details, but Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
Yukiko.
What the? You can?
And to kill my friends again. When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me, but I can't answer her right now. If battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals.
True.
You're a real bastard with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring 'em all down.
Also true. I ignore the taunts being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, We'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to my side to protect Miss President who is standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulders, although she looks worried. She still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this quickly as possible.
Persona!
Oh boy. I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart. Persona Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukiko should have had a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Okay, well, assuming I win. Goddamn. Making me nervous here. I still don't know the combat. Kingpin of Steel. Wait, what's Yukiko's title again? Something like Black Snow, right? Oh, nice. So as long as I hit the punch, I get a combo. Oh. I have a lightning attack? How do I use my persona? Hold on. Man list. Thunder God Myriad Truths. Okay. So you can summon your oh, I only have to win once. I see. Don't worry, I will go into training after I end this episode.
The winner is you, Senpai! What an utter thrashing!
No, I'm so good, right? I just spam the X button, because once I land my punch, I follow up with like 4 attacks, and then my opponent gets knocked back, and then I follow up with an air combo. I was like, okay, that's just one button.
I love all this animosity! These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jest. I still have reservations about fighting my friends, but I now know that there's no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Rise have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukiko had. If they are, then there's no use trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to, but Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends! What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image at the monitor. I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seems more upset that he was making friends fight each other. No, why he had dragged the entire school into his mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body of Yasogami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
She's still worked up and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest, but her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing now can't be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid. What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off, suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse. It's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real one. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing those acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side. Are you alright?
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You weren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukiko hesitates as if remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing it is certainly finding the most annoying way to getting us to fight. What I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity isn't in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
If you did see everything that just happened, this would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduce Miss President and Yukiko to each other and fill in the parts that I had left out on my previous explanation. I tell her about personas, that we're actually in a world inside the TV, and I tell her how the scenery changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only a moment ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems that she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms almost as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukiko didn't know that Yasogami High had a new student council president either. She apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter the world. Besides the obvious reasons such as not being able to escape or being unable to protect yourself, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people that came from, and will try to harm them in order to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought since Miss President seems so energetic, but it's possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the convo I had with Teddy a moment ago and come to a conclusion.
Teddy who's hosting this tournament. What if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
That could be true. I mean, what was it? They opened Teddy once in the original game, right? And we know that Teddy's a shadow. Like, there's nothing inside him until we brought him to the real world and he created his identity there. So technically, this version of Teddy, the general, could be Labris or could be that president inside. Huh. Never thought of that. That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then it can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. Still leaves the question as to why it would take... Oh shit, I'm on autoplay. I didn't mean to do that. Let me turn that off. There we go. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadows aren't her fault. Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if he came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. As student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duties say that she will never back down.
Your little cousin's in the announcement room. And you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes. Yikes. I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her alone and tells me to follow a girl she's only just met. That's exactly opposite of the behavior she's been displaying before the fight. Now this is the person I know. I'm ashamed that I only ever slightly let myself be confused, by the way. I heard her speak before and I answer her. I'll come back.
I believe in you.
Yukiko nods to me and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue the president throughout the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate because the invisible walls are everywhere. The announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the path that she can take. I will catch up with her no matter what. Well, I mean, it's the school, right? So we should technically know where the announcement room is. I've been running after her for a while, but I can't catch the sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there where I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her would be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. Ah, shit. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think. When I consider the timing of its appearance, I couldn't help but feel there must be a reason. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness and I close my eyes. When I open them, I'm seated in my usual position and Margaret is smiling at me as if nothing is different. What she sees is that I've noticed her and speaks as if I'm aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Yes, I want to go back to beating up my friends. Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there's still more for me to learn about this. If time doesn't pass when I'm in the room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. but it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial.
I don't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passes and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. Still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be. For some reason my mind is cleared up a bit. It means get the fuck to the PA room. That's what. Alright, we good. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. Now I immediately see a recognizable feature, her long ponytail. I found her.
Wait! It's too dangerous to go alone.
Miss President turns around in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Color me impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
This calmness. Has she expected that I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel like she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I can say will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
Promise me that you won't leave my side. And you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody. This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought that I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. Not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
Hey, mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
It's tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
No, you're right. If I could avoid it, I would, but I believe in my friends.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
Will she believe that answer? I study Miss President's face, but when she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her eyes.
What if you had to kill each other?
Kill each other? I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. It's true, there's no guarantee that this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim.
Sorry, that was probably over the line. I don't know why I said that.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Even if I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. After hearing my answer, Miss President cast her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this, feel a sense of incongruity. Why could that happen? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she has yet to confide in us? It's so heavy that she could ask that question of me. Speaking of which, if General Teddy does turn out to be her shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly, it seems that her courage and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thought races through my head while we walk down the hallway. Fuck.
What are you doing?
Oh god, another challenger. I thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been experiencing them, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President, who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then. Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the place I had bumped into. So that must be the case. As I'd imagine, Miss President is unaffected by these walls. It's because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix. Of course, if General Teddy really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. Okay. The entrance to the school building is ahead of us. Perhaps worst of all is that the wall I had just walked into is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. No, there are walls there too. And the same can be said for the direction towards the entrance. A thought crosses my mind as I check back the way we had come. It's as I thought. Another invisible wall has formed where I just passed and I can't go back. With walls in every direction, there's nowhere I can go. I'm trapped. And if I can't go anywhere, this can only mean one thing.
Be careful. This probably means...
The moment I call out, General Teddy appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round in the P1 Grand Prix is about to begin. Who is it this time? Chie?
Is your snout okay, Sensei? Jeez, you're such a klutz.
You're still using that form? It's getting old. Why don't you just show your true self?
Boy, you've gotten peevish. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it. Looks like I'm not going to get him to reveal anything that way. I quickly changed tactics.
Okay, so who's my next opponent?
Ooh, now you're getting into the spirit of things. Let me guess, you're starting to enjoy beating up your friends? Hee-hee! Okay, with the next challenger, come on down!
The general doesn't pick up on my intention and loudly yells out what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out, and who should appear from the smoke but the person I was expecting to see? 4 of us entered the TV together. I've already fought against Yosuke and Yukiko. Then.
That's what I thought. You're the last of us, after all.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be next, too.
She laughs along with me. For the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her words and actions, but I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I'd feel the same way when I encountered Yukiko too. But as they say, the third time's the charm. I have to see if Chie's in her right mind. I decide that the best way to do this is to be calm and start a convo with her.
Chie, you know what they're doing, right?
Before I can begin to explain, Chie cuts me off.
Yeah, I know. The stuff we say gets twisted around so we end up fighting each other, right? Don't worry. You're the son of a bitch who left us as soon as the last case ended, but you're still our good friend. I mean, you have it easy. You're just fighting your friends. I had to keep killing over and over, all because of you humans!
Now this is obvious. Chie is clearly not herself. It's so blatant her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but Chie would never say anything like that. And you humans? That's as good as confessing that you're not human. Oh right, carnivore, was it? This president is watching us from nearby. She must look more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chie says at the end caught my attention. I had to keep killing over and over.
More stuff about killing, huh? Miss President was talking about it earlier, too. This must be.
It hurts. It hurts. 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 I'll give you a taste of the pain they put me through!
She's not even trying to sound like Chie anymore. I can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. But the shadow is intentionally making people say these lines. What does this mean about Miss President? Killing each other? All because of humans? What kind of secret past could the new student council president of Yasogami High be harboring? No, now's not the time for this. I'll have to look into this after we've cleaned up the confusion between
Let's
us.
do this, Chie.
Ignoring her words, I draw my sword. Immediately, Rise's voice echoes through the area as if she was waiting for this.
Well, round 3 of the P1 Grand Prix already. Word on the street is that the carnivore may have a slight advantage. Will you, Senpai, all talk and no skill, manage to eke out a win this time? Let's get this show on the road. Ready?
Come on, then. Scene 9. Alright, let's do this. And then after I end this fight, I'll practice my stuff. She is born in 1994. What about you?
Final. Fight.
Okay. Damn.
Can you take it? Damn. Izunari. Persona.
What's the down one? Nice. I got Izanagi combo.
Persona! Closing in! Nice try! Izanagi!
Such a what?
Okay, I know one combo. My fist light combo and the Izanagi down the Izanagi downwards hit. Other than that, I just jump around and try to land an air hit. I won by spamming the jump button. Lower my sword and begin slowing my breath. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering this was my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all.
General Teddy has seen that the fights ended without any injuries and spits his words through the monitor. That's that. The image on the monitor then disappears without having anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all the friends I came into the TV world with, and none of them are hurt. All that's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe, and then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chie and help her up off the ground. She'd come back to her senses and she seems a little sheepish. You are no challenge at all.
Hey, that's mean. Man, you are strong though.
Trash talk.
I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Look who's talking. Never been kicked around so badly in my life. I waited for Chie to reach her feet and then tell her everything that's happened up to this point.
So the others are safe too? What a relief. I was pretty worried.
Chie is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. Can't help but smile at the reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchange smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President seems perplexed when she speaks up.
You guys really are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me. Wait a sec. Who are you?
Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduce Miss President and tell Chie that she may be a victim of this case. But Chie looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
Huh? The student council president? You mean ours?
I like how nobody pays attention to the student council elections.
That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
Yeah, let's not judge Chie. It's 2025. Maybe she's like, you know, we accept robot council presidents now.
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
My name...
She stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name? That's not that strange a question, is it? But for some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. Chie and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My... memories... No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Kill one another? I gasped when I heard the words fall from her mouth. Don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normal. I glance at Chie, then try to approach her in the hopes of calming her down. Without warning, she begins flailing her arms as if trying to ward off demons that only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie and easily knocks her aside.
Chie!
What power! Barely managed to catch Chie before she slams into the concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown, what in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back on her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at that moment...
What?
No way.
Before I know it, Miss President is flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly up higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. She and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off the ceiling to change direction and lands at a full run.
Wow. Who is that girl?
She's in the high jump club.
Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memories.
Come to think of it, her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
I can't answer her at all. What if you had to kill each other? I heard Miss President's sad voice in my head. She apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
I'll wait here. Make sure you rescue her, okay?
Her voice is strong and confident. To drive that point home, she pokes my chest with her finger as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she's still worrying about others. All my friends are like that. Makes me really happy right now. I asked Chie if she'll be alright on her own, and she fires back. Let me worry about that. When out to her, I begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her, no matter what. What about Nanako? We gotta save her too. I saved myself as well. Jeez. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible wall kept preventing me from making much headway. I attempt to strike at the walls with my persona, but nothing happens.
So many invisible walls, one after another. Miss President can pass through them. I don't know if I can keep up the pursuit.
The announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President is headed for, but if there's a shadow waiting for me there, I'll need to get there anyways. Teddy and Rise should be in the PA room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'd be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first I think that this is a dead end. I realize that I can cut through a classroom and come out the other side of the wall. It's forcing me to enter the room rather than letting me go straight. This probably means... I brace myself and put my hand on the door. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
Hi. Senpai! Can you hear me? Please answer me!
That voice. Is that you, Rise? The real one?
The real one? Her voice isn't coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona.
Thank goodness. I've been all alone since that weird fake Teddy captured me. And then you were all fighting each other.
I can hear the relief in her voice. She sounded so differently from the insensitive and rude voice that had been coming from the PA system. This is indeed the Rise I know.
Where are you now, Rise? Can you locate where I am?
I'm sorry, I don't think there's time. I'm stuck in the announcement room. Please, Senpai, you have to hurry. If you don't, he'll...
Rise! What's wrong, Rise?
There's no answer. The communication has been cut off. Has something happened in the PA room? My heart begins racing. The enemy made us fight each other as participants in the tournament, but they had captured Rise as well. It's clear to me that they must have been worried about using her persona's powers to tell us the truth, but that's not important right now. If she was just captured to prevent her from contacting us, then the enemy must think of Rise being less valuable than those who had to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. I have to hurry.
Pardon me for interrupting while you are lost in thought.
Oh shit, it's Aigis. I know that voice. A hand brushes my shoulder. In surprise, I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought that I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while we investigated last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. I look up and see another unfamiliar face. Oh shit. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, a girl? Her face and voice seems human-like, but the rest of her, there's metal everywhere all over her body. For a moment I wonder if this is just an elaborate costume, but I can see the interior framework of her body where the joints connect.
I didn't mean to startle you.
You're...
It's nice to meet you. My name is Aigis. And no, I am not human.
It's Aigis.
You are the one from the introduction video, listed as the Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Narukami-san, correct?
Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, the question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. And did she just say she wasn't human? It's, well, when Yosuke calls me by that stupid title, I knew it was a joke, but when a stranger says it, it sounds like they truly believe it. Huh. This is a pain.
Nanako is important to me, but calling it a complex is stretching things.
No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off, but I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyway. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from the subject. I clear my throat and try to start over.
Aigis-san, was it? Why are you here?
Our primary objective is the destruction of shadows, but we have come to this world on a different mission.
The destruction of shadows.
She fights shadows? But how could she do that if...
Then does that mean...
Yes, I have a persona as well. Though my body is a machine, personas are the strength of the heart after all.
Just as I thought. I'm surprised to find another persona user outside of my group of friends and a robot to top off that. I can't come to grips with all of this. From the way we were talking, she just seems like a normal person, only in an interesting suit. Sure, I've seen stories on the news about robots looking uncannily like real humans, but isn't something like this far beyond that? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence on my own eyes. I mean, I've been hopping in and out of TVs for the past year. Who am I to say what's strange or not? Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I find myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here, but I have to put that aside for now. There's something I need to find out from her first. The P1 Grand Prix, it's so similar to the events of last year, but to think that it would involve someone like her. I have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I calm myself, then ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in the world.
And what is this mission of yours?
She opens her mouth to respond, but just then, I gotta fight her. The monitor inside the classroom turns on. It's at that moment that I suddenly remember. It's likely that I'm gonna have to fight here, and I'd forgotten about sensing that when I entered the room.
Aha! So that's where you got to, Sensei. I've been looking all over for you. Ooh, who's the honey? Were you in the middle of trying to score with her?
As if you didn't know. You're the one who lured us both here.
Oh my, did you figure it out? I didn't have a choice after those guys decided on their own to horn in on the fun.
Those guys.
You're a bright boy, Sensei. You know what's coming next, don't you?
The general on the monitor gives me a twisted smile. Could Aiga-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? I can't figure out what his motives are, but he's using us to crush each other. In other words, she's the next challenger that's being set against me. Aiga seems to understand this as well and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
Sorry about this. Do you know the rule of this tournament?
Only the victor of each match may move on. Yes?
I have nothing against you, but I'm in a hurry for my own reasons.
Neither of us, in other words, can back down. Then there should be no hard feelings.
Aiga-san is refreshingly straightforward about this. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. It's tough being forced to fight my friends, but having to hurt someone that I don't even know is just as bad. Another thought comes off the heels on that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on her mission? Shouldn't I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, it seems that she hasn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If we're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk over it before we do anything.
That will not do. We will speak more of this after one of us wins.
Aiga-san says this so quickly as if she's reading my mind. Damn it, Aigas. For a moment, I'm struck by how she could have known what I was thinking, but I realize that she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the losers can't leave the room, but until we have a battle, neither one of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if we can come to an understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better if we don't hear about each other's problems before we fight. That could be why Aigas hasn't told me anything. This must be your vision of kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aigas appears to smile slightly when I do. Right, I'm not going to give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Nanako and my friends to be safe, and I have to make sure that Miss President is okay. I will use everything I can to protect them. Thank her for her consideration. I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
And here goes. There's no need to hold back.
Indeed. Let us do battle.
I'm about to break my sword. I'm gonna cut through a robot. Military grade Aigas too. I like how it says activation. Aigas was born in 2000. Wait, did Aigas have a title? I didn't see that. Alright, let's go.
I failed. Down, going. Damage. Severe impact.
Damn. Alright.
Ordeal, come now.
Persona.
Nice, nice.
Damage. Scramble.
Severe impact on sanity. No! No! No escape.
Damn, she has fire? How did I don't know how I activated that.
Over. No!
Nice. The downwards persona. It always catches them off guard. I just take on a low stance and I summon Izanagi. He does the fucking jab. Good hit.
Wowza! Now that's the sensei I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you!
Damn, don't disrespect Igus like that, okay?
Serves you right! Keep suffering! Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other!
A machine with the power of a persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy as if we were some performers for his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy never made such a hateful sound, but it's actually rather scary.
Stupid! You're such a dumbass! What's with you?
The image on the monitor distorts along with the outburst. The general is having trouble remembering to act as someone else, and his face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense at copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy's gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out those hateful words is not Teddy either.
Respect? Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me! I was forced to fight against my will! I destroyed them with my own hands! You should all have to go through the hell I've suffered! See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend! If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on!
Yeah, but unfortunately this isn't Danganronpa. The general of the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
Also, it does align with Labrys, so it seems that it is her shadow indeed, the president. The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have become connected. When Miss President had asked out of the blue if we were going to be forced to kill each other, that ominous muttering of killing one another, were those both something that had directly come from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Has she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she was going through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel like I'm closing in on the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice.
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
Is that Mitsuru? Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Igus to protect her from the falling debris. Okay. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the cloud of dust. While not as strange as Igus, she seems a little uncommon as well. Wait. No way Elizabeth just decided to fucking enter the TV world, and because she's a Velvet attendant, she can just defy the rules of, like... She can just defy all of these arbitrary rules that affect us. But even besides that, why did she have to come through the ceiling? This room has doors. It makes no sense at all. I was about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy, but the monitor in this room has been destroyed along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Feigned? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
What the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she wears, it looks familiar. With that silver hair and golden eyes. Could it be?
Are you from the Velvet Room?
My, is this what's known as being hit on?
Oh my god.
A forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
I'm sure you would know, after all, you know, you went to the Persona 3 protagonist's room, and did some special stuff.
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that actually sounded like I was really hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her something.
Do you happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I've been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of a pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Well, she's neither. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyways, worrying about that niceties isn't the most important thing right now.
Oh, actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Ah, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth. Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
He thinks of this world as a mundane place. That's confusing. Yasuo Inaba may be in on the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. This girl suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name. Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad that I met Margaret last year instead of this girl. It's canon.
But why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyways. So what possessed her to come blasting in through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided not to bother asking her that either. I met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just going to ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best to just hold on and go along for the ride then. I can't remember either if the rest of the P3 cast is acquainted with Elizabeth. I know the P4 cast knows Margaret because when you go to save Marie, Margaret does show, like she does appear in front of the entire cast, but I don't remember in P3 if the cast does meet Elizabeth. I don't think so. So yeah, maybe if I pay attention she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. Just as I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I know a little about the wild card, but...
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
Glue?
Flu? Influenza.
Taking word fragments and making another word, I love it.
Something along those lines at any rate.
She's having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth to ask how she knew I had that power or where she found out about it. Oh shit, are we about to name drop the P3 protagonist? Just as I'm struggling to follow the endearing path of her conversation, she brings out an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
I'm about to lose. What? Someone please tell me how she reached that conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a chance to talk her out of it though. Also, where is Aegis? Is Aegis just dead? But of course I have to try, so I say... Give me a break.
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations
Fucking placebo
are
decision.
skyward at Mach speed. To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of, impressive.
Well, so was Aegis, so... It's only the people that we know. Maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have some idea what's going on around here. And even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me? I wonder though, if she's unrelated to General Teddy's plans and invited herself into the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth-san taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. I mean, aren't I gonna die? Typically, the Velvet attendants are just... they're like gods. Actually, they're probably stronger than gods too, so... Oh boy. The huge leather-bound book in her hand opens as if by itself. A torrent of power pours through the open book with a blue light. I can't believe that this strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call it an air of imminent violence.
Alright, I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with the intent on killing her, I'd be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least, that's how I feel. Elizabeth calmly begins the battle.
Let us do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Interesting though, that means that you can play as Elizabeth in this game too. Wow, quite a variety of fighters. I want to play as Adachi. Can I play as Adachi? Of course, Elizabeth doesn't have a date of birth. She is just there.
Final.
Okay, let's do it.
Fight.
Alright, sweet. First hit.
Your fate is in the cards.
We're through play.
Summoning.
Closing in.
Oh, she's got Thanatos. Holy crap.
We're through play.
Fuck.
Persona. Oh my. Thanatos. Oh no.
We're through play.
Time has come. Pardon me.
Oh, nice.
Warrior.
Persona. We're through play.
Thanatos.
Thanatos is so much.
I see. Remarkable. Impressive.
How did I even activate
Here's
that?
some electricity. Warrior. I'm surprised.
Yes. Leg punch. Look at her on the ground. She's like, you didn't defeat me. I'm just posing now. That's pretty cool though. So she uses Thanatos, which is, well, it's partially me, partially, Ryoji. Just when I thought I managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth gets back up elegantly as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly I feel an intensity building up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously at all up until now. The next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs and I'm spun about, and before you can tell, I can't tell up from down. The floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the face of my friends and Aigus-san, all those I had fought against up until now. It's like that story you see when your life flashes before your eyes, before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? That's right, I'm gonna save my friends. I'll fight as much as I have to in order to save them. I have to keep fighting. I have to get this white screen off my screen. I've come so far, can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrents of power suddenly cease without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that, I continue to stand stock still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Aigus earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself off and nods to herself as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Flute?
Flu?
Fluenza?
Chimneys.
What? Where did you get chimneys from?
In any case, I am quite pleased.
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me, even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Margaret said that something similar just before this tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind does it matter whether you've opened it or not. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles. Seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path on her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Interesting, so canonically, Elizabeth is kind of a free agent. She's kind of doing stuff outside of the Velvet Room because she doesn't really care. Kind of aligns with her character though. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
Well then, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
Yes, that is how we say farewell. With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye, I hear Igus getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Igus doesn't seem to be very hurt or damaged or whatever you would say. He was likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Igus laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that, I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Igus stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. After a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward, but I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look Igus-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so Igus told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There's another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that the current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you? And she's the cause of all this?
Right, and it's the student council president.
We came to this world to retrieve her, my older sister. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Okay, older sister. Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris? I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now, but even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately.
Igus-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but she really is no different from a human. As I ponder this, I listen to what she has to say. It's discouraging.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second, I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world, Miss President. Oh my god, it's almost like it's the only other character that's a mystery. Well, besides Elizabeth. Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
That there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance that Igus was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. And everyone's considered that she might not be human up until now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labrys is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug, slightly. I don't want to be so grave. Aigis must sense what I'm trying to do and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I give Aigis-san a determined nod and run out of the classroom. Time to go. But man, what a busy Golden Week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. Okay, well, 2 of those statements are redundant. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko was trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was a boxed lunch she'd made for us. As to how it might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked, and I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed that. Yeah, whatever you say, you. Eventually I would have called Nanako over and we would have brought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I could have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croquets. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yominaido bookstore. I've had a steak bowl at Aya's and hung out with the fox at the Tatsumi Shrine. Tatsuhime Shrine. Waited for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labrys, and if they truly brought Nanako into the TV world, I will never let them go.
I'll make them pay.
As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for just a moment.
Someone here? Again?
I reach towards it with a relaxed smile. About to tell Margaret we met up with her sister. Hey, what's up, it's me? Margaret is in her usual position. I glanced around to see if there's anyone else in here. Looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Her nutcase? It's canon. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys ignorance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble.
A seductive sound that conveys ignorance. What?
Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve? I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
Without end? The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. I would be lying to say if I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then...
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president and a fake Teddy, my encounter with the weapon with the heart, Aigis searching for her sister Labrys, and the determination that I've gained throughout these constant battles. What I must accomplish. How do I show what I've decided through my actions? Also, like, we don't actually know if Nanako is here, so I don't think we should jump the gun too much. Seems that the number of invisible walls has decreased. Could this mean that the end is near? Just as I think that, I hear a familiar voice.
That's enough!
That was Miss President. It was coming from the door to the announcement room. I finally made it. I opened the door to the announcement room and rushed inside.
You're finally here. Hello, Sensei.
I made it.
Congratulations! How does it feel to have won the P1 Grand Prix?
The general smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Rise. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused while Rise's face lights up with joy.
There you are, Senpai! You're late!
Where's the fake Rise? I have to stay cautious of the general, but I signal to the girls that everything will be alright now. The general is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. And then there's one more thing I need to know.
Teddy, where's Nanako?
I look around the PA room, but Nanako is nowhere to be found. The general's face distorts with an ugly glee.
Nana-chan's right here. See?
Slowly, the general extends the arm that was held behind him. There was Nanako. Her arms are cluttered to her chest, and she slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
After taking a step forward, I noticed something bizarre. The general disappeared. For a brief instant, my full attention had been focused on Nanako, that the general has been standing directly behind her. But now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly right in front of me without me noticing?
Bro!
While I'm confused about the general's disappearance, Nanako weakly calls to me. Being in the TV world has obviously taken a toll on her. She totters towards me unsteadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the general later. I have to save Nanako right now. As I reach out to her, Rise yells.
Senpai, no! Nanako-chan's not there!
She's not real. Time to wake up. Nanako's not here? What is she saying? She's right here. Just as I'm about to say that, my hand stops. Something's not right. I try to look into Nanako's face once more, and in her eyes I saw madness.
Oh, so close! Just a little more and Sensei would have been a goner!
You bastard!
I barely reacted in time to draw my sword and block the attack. General suddenly appears out of nowhere to attack me with his cane, and I get a good look at him as our weapons clash together. I see the madness in his face, the same madness that I had seen in Nanako once a moment before. That's when I noticed that Nanako has disappeared. What's going on?
You've got it wrong, Senpai! It's all been him from the beginning! He can make whoever's looking at him see him as someone else!
So he's not actually taking on other forms?
No, he's just distorting the things you see and hear!
That's right, the enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I realized that after the battles I've had today, but seeing Nanako had made me forget all that. The general laughs at this.
It's hard for me to show someone who isn't here. But you actually saw this Nanako girl? You're hopeless.
Just like how my friends haven't actually gone crazy before our fights, Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. The appearance before me is a fake. He distorted our senses all to make us suffer. But just as I thought he couldn't deceive Rise's persona abilities, that's why he kidnapped her to keep her from warning us during his tournament. Now that I know that, I push the general's cane away and jump back towards the girls in order to distance myself from them. Good. Now I'm between them and the general. I look them straight at the one behind in this bizarre situation.
Who in the world are you?
You still can't tell? Seriously, the level of intelligence around here.
That's my bad. I didn't level that up this time.
Fine then. Here. Get a good look.
It's Labrys. Shadow Labrys. Oh, she's more robotic though this time. Is she wearing chainmail? She has wings. Oh no, that's an axe. Oh no.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
I saw metal limbs, golden eyes, a ponytail, and a mirror image of Miss President's face even though she was standing behind me and trembling.
How about it? You wanted to see what I am, didn't you? Why does she look like me?
That's its true form. That thing is your shadow.
This is a shadow? She really came from inside me?
Yes, also wording. Rise tries to calm Miss President, but the girl shakes her head in denial and squeezes her eyes shut. While Miss President refuses to look at this mechanical-looking being, now understands what is going on. Because this isn't the first time I've seen a robotic girl before. True. All the facts match up. The way she wants to run so fast without so much as breathing heavily even in the TV world. The sense of wrongness that I've had when Miss President had asked me about killing my friends. The way she avoided telling me her name. The superhuman strength she had when she hit Chie. And the incredible jump to get away from us. And the Shadow's ability to interfere with the sense of other people. Just as Margaret had said, all the pieces to the puzzles were laid out before me. They've all come together and now I can see the truth. She is indeed Labrys. Labrys, another weapon with a heart stolen by someone unknown and thrown into the TV world, created the school and forced us to fight our friends. This deep-rooted depression regarding her past memories. All of this took the form of Labrys' shadow, who manipulated everything here.
Labrys, don't look away. If you don't accept her, she'll get even stronger.
Yeah, just don't say the line. Labrys only shivers when I call out to her. There has to be some reason why she believed that she was the student council president. That's just a disguise, more for herself than for us. No matter how comfortable it is, it's only there to cloud her eyes from the truth.
I don't know what your past was like. It must have had some painful memories. But you have us with you now. We're going to get you out of here.
I call out to her while keeping an eye on the shadow. A shadow is the darkness within a person's heart. Unless it is accepted by the person it comes from, it will never disappear for good. With that in mind, all we can do is watch over her as she accepts this darkness within her. We'll have to protect her from the shadow when the shadow goes berserk and tries to kill her. Labrys continues to shake her head and tremble violently. My words aren't getting through.
You hear that, me? Your friend is trying to tell you something. Too bad he doesn't understand at all. These clowns are so hopelessly naive.
The shadow laughs shrilly. It continues to smear more poison into Labrys' heart.
I wish I could have made them feel my pain. What it's like having to murder one another. That sadness and pain and anguish. Everything went black, and I was always left alone. I'm a weapon. A machine made only to fight. No human can understand my suffering. Stop! I've had enough. I'm human. I'm not like that.
Oh, this isn't good. I settle into a fighting stance, ready for anything. Don't have a good idea what's going to happen.
Oh, you're still clinging to that. Then take a look at what you really are.
The shadow's eyes gleam with golden light. The change begins immediately. Timber runs across Labrys' body, and instead of the normal human girl that had been a moment ago, she has a metallic body just like her shadow. Oh, that's cool. So she's morphing back into a robot, basically, because she didn't have the metal limbs.
No! No!
Labrys loses all composure and scratches at her arm, trying to tear away the metal that had appeared. There was more to her change than just her arms. Her legs, waist, chest, even her head. Everything not covered by her clothing was now obviously mechanical. Reality was that she didn't want to face. There are no words that we can say to her. No matter what we say, reality won't change. Labrys falls to her knees, and finally mutters the word I was dreading she'd say. You're not me. To be continued. Oh, that's it. Oh. I unlock Kanji's story and Teddy's story. Saving. Oh wow, interesting. Okay. So each of these stories are like, they're episodic basically, so they're not complete in of each other. They're complete as a whole. Alright, nice. Okay. Okay, that's a lot to do, that's why. Holy shit, yeah, that's a lot to do. Okay, so I think now that I have finished the first story, I think I know how I'm going to proceed with things, because I'm like an hour and 50 minutes into the first story. So I'll do this basically. What we're gonna do is we're gonna finish all of the P4A stories, and before we do each story, I'm gonna go into practice mode quickly and then kind of just learn the moveset of each of the characters, so that I'm not ass and I actually have an idea, so I can enjoy the action combat of this game when we do get that. 2, I will do my best, if possible, to fit in each character into one episode, so that we'll have all of the characters nicely lined up into one little episode, so that once we finish all of the P4A stories, I'm assuming we can then come back to the episode P4 and see all of this through, because I feel like this is the aftermath to the P4A stories, if I'm understanding that correctly. So that is the plan. So yeah, I'll see you next time. We will resume with Yosuke's story, and I'll see you after I learn what the fuck his moveset is too.